Well, the Man United takeover has broken off. It has been paused after the Glazers have been totally disappointed into what the expected amount of bids were according to them, and they've not been met. That's why it's been taken off to the break. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys? And welcome to yet another edition of the 100% United news here onto this channel. That's why you're called United Matters channel. And I would like to let you know that we are doing lots of stories today. Donny van de Beek, Rio Sociedad into the mix after a story came out last night that it's really off. Sociedad is going to head to contact Manchester United on the signing of Donny van de Beek. And lastly, Fred. United have gone ahead to alter the asking price of Fred to an extent that they've failed to get a realistic buyer for the player, yet they want to sell him and obviously finance the coming in of Sofiane Amrabat. Let's see close to 300 likes in this video. Continue to subscribe so that we hit the target that we went ahead to set here onto our YouTube channel. Now, what's the target? Hitting 15,000 subscribers before the end of this week, because we are left with like, is it 300 subscribers or 200 to hit that milestone, and I think you guys can help us reach that level. Now, let's start it off with iPaper Sports. They've come out and obviously confirmed to us that the Manchester United takeover process has been effectively paused as far as at least one of the two main bidders are concerned. There is suspicion from at least one of the people close to the sale process that Avram and Joe Glazer have been disappointed with the size of the offers. That is it. Now, we all know that the size of the offer for Sheikh Jassim Al Thani was about £5.5 billion, and that of Sir Jim Ratcliffe was also in that ilk, but for him, he was willing to buy the other Glazers out and leave the two, Joel Glazer and Avram, into the business, and then he sorts them later after 3 years. But that was not obviously what the Glazers wanted. The Glazers started off this knowing that maybe they would get themselves to the amount of £6 to £7 billion, and they would see very many people coming in through yearning to obviously take over the club of Manchester United. So it is all in their hands, and a lot of things are going to be done by the Glazers to keep themselves in the club of Manchester United. And the reason as to why they're not going to have to get in bids that are really obviously hitting their valuation is because the club has gone ahead to deteriorate a lot. If United was that club that was winning Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues, I think it would have been easy for the Glazers to see that they obviously sell it. But for a club that has not gone ahead to win a Premier League in the last 10 years, a Champions League in the last 15 years, how can someone come out and obviously give you £6 to £7 billion, yet even the stadium, you need a new one? You've not improved the facilities of Carrington, and you're calling for that amount of money. And I think it was naive for them to obviously think that they can obviously get in the amount of money that they wanted in there for you. And you anticipate that they are trying to see to that they finance the transfer window of Manchester United to see to that Eric Ten Hag maybe wins the Premier League or performs in the Champions League, and then maybe they'll get in the money they want around January or at the end of next summer, if at all positivity continues looming at Manchester United. And they also believe that there is money coming in through, as iPaper Sport has gone ahead to let us know via the Manchester Evening News. He has gone ahead to let us know that Joel and Avram believe that new TV deals being negotiated, the growth of the club in the US and the new USL format will add value to Man United in the coming years. Now, I look at this as a plan for the Glazers to stay at Manchester United, and they might have really fooled us, and hoodwinked us into a thought that they are willing to buy the club. And they are businessmen. They obviously first went through and obviously inquired what is the real worthiness of Manchester United. And they are so much great and wise that they first went to the Qataris because they knew the Qataris had the money. And they asked them how much money can you buy Manchester United? And officially, they knew it that they could not meet the £6 billion mark. And that's what they said, 6 billion, 7 billion pounds. And when you see all those differences in between them and the family, to me, I believe these are just drawn up issues to log on this deal, because the coming in of Erik ten Hag has gone ahead to give them a room to get in more money. They've just signed a new deal with Adidas that is going to see United earning £90 million per season. You get? Secondly, we don't have a shirt sponsor, and that deal is being negotiated, and it's rumored that that deal might even equal to 100 or 120 million pounds for Manchester United, meaning that they are going to be getting close to 200 million pounds from the shirt and kit sponsors. So if we happen to be in the position of like second or third, some 150 million pounds will be coming in as prize money from the Premier League. Champions League, if you happen to get in like 60, 70, 80 million pounds, that will be some good amount of money. Add on the shirt sales, the 2 million shirt sales that Adidas gives the club of Manchester United to sell, you know. So it shows you that this club of Manchester United is obviously in the hands of the Glazers. They hoodwinked us, and I would like to call upon the concerned people to come in through and obviously do the needful and do a thorough investigation over this bidding process of the Glazers. They hoodwinked the world, they're going to sell, and they never really make it happen. They made people bid close to 3, 4, 5 times, and they never went ahead to obviously give them a final feed. Why do I think that the Glazers really were hoodwinking us? Why is it that when Sheikh Jassim Al Thani said he's going to keep the 2 Glazers and buy out the others, they were willing to obviously see this take off and Joel and Avram to stay? When Sheikh Jassim came in through and matched the bid of Sir Jim Ratcliffe, and the other minority shareholders at Man United came out and we told them that we are going to sue you because you've gone ahead to obviously do what is not going to benefit us, but is going to benefit you by selling a club to a person who wants to just buy a part of it, and not selling it to a person who wants to sell 100%, such that we all share the same amount of money. They said we are halting the process. So it shows me that the Glazers were just hoodwinking us. The coming in of Erik ten Hag was a revival to them. It rejuvenated them and gave them a chance to play on our minds to do this. Because you can't tell me that for a process that has been running for close to 10 months, you want to halt it right now. It started way back in November, December, plus July. Those are just close to 9 months. And they are trying to really hoodwink us. And this is something we shouldn't accept as a club of Manchester United. And I know people will obviously poke the nose into this, and these Glazers might be aligned, have to be aligned and put in court, because what they are doing is illegal. What they are doing is illegal. Hoodwinking people, seeing the share price skyrocketing, you know, close to a percentage that has not yet been even there ever since they registered this United side onto the New York Stock Exchange. So to me, I think they're taking a break because they want to study the environment at Manchester United and see that if at all they take or they borrow money and build a stadium, they can obviously facilitate it, because United is going to get in more money. The new World Club Championship, you know it very well, it's going to be played like a World Cup, right? That is some huge money coming in through. Champions League teams expanding, you know, to teams taking close to 6 clubs in the Champions League, such that they increase more games, and more games will mean more TV money, meaning that if United happens to be in the Champions League for the next 5 years, they're going to amass a lot of wealth from the Champions League. So to me, it's hard to convince me that the Glazers never really hoodwinked us. I see a very, very well plotted move for them. See to it that they pause this, see to it that they study the financial situation of Man United. How many dividends are we going to be getting in? And obviously, maybe in the next 2 years, we can even get £10 billion from Manchester United if at all happen to win the Premier League, construct a stadium, because for the stadium they can use like £2 billion, and that money is going to be borrowed. It's not going to be their money. If they borrow it, and they build that stadium, they can sell the club and obviously get in close to 10-12 billion pounds, because they'll say we've constructed a new art stadium. That is it. So that's what Mama is telling me about the Glazers, but we are going to be getting more about them. But it looks like they hoodwinked us, and all they wanted was to see themselves stay at the club of Manchester United, because they never had the intention to sell. Because I've always had question marks on the intention of the Glazers to sell, because the way they want money and dividends, if they've been getting in like 11 million pounds per quarter, when we've been performing badly, how much will they be getting, if at all, Ten Hag comes in through and they're really making profits? You get? Meaning that they might get like 30 million pounds per quarter from Manchester United. That is it. And if at all they happen to be getting that amount of money, they won't go. They won't go, because they'll see that they're still having an asset that can obviously collect them 10 billion pounds, and they are still getting more money. And they know the more they stay and Erik ten Hag continues to win and back him, the more the club is obviously going to gain more support. They also have another boost of 150,000 United fans all over the world booking for the preseason tickets. Can you imagine? So it shows you that they are having a huge fan base. They also went ahead to confirm to us that United has the most number of registered fans all over the world, and they're almost hitting 400,000 fans registered over the world. So they know that membership brings in money. They went ahead to increase the ticket sales, meaning that they expect more dividends in this financial year that started on the 1st of July. So that is it coming from the Glazers, and let's throw a little bit our feet, all our studs, into the Donny van de Beek situation. Now, an exclusive has been dropped by Fabrizio Romano, rubbishing all the rumors that Real Sociedad is out of the Donny van de Beek deal. Fabrizio Romano, this is what I was going to hate to say. Exclusive: Real Sociedad have approached Man United today for Donny van de Beek. First formal contact between the clubs after initial talks. Player side last week. Clubs now discussing formula and terms of the deal. It will depend on condition decided by Manchester United. To me, I think it's high time Donny van de Beek left. I mean, he's seen performing well in the preseason, scoring against Lyon, putting up 2 assists against Borussia Dortmund. I think he deserves to leave. For his career, he has seen it all at Manchester United, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's high time he left the club of Manchester United in peace. If you are Donny van de Beek, you wouldn't wish any other season at the age of 26 playing off the bench. It's better we either give him a loan or sell him off. But according to where we are going and how Ten Hag is grooming other players to come in through, I think it's better we accepted the loss that we paid £40 million for Donny van de Beek to come to Manchester United, and we obviously get in like £20 million back and move on to the next player. Because you have to admit that these players were not Erik ten Hag players, and by the time he came in through, Erik ten Hag, the player, had really gone ahead to lose his form because of injuries and how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer handled his situation at the club of Manchester United. But the most important thing is that we can get in money of Donny van de Beek by the end of this week, and obviously that will obviously accelerate the deal of Sofian Amrabat to come to Manchester United. So those are my thoughts about that deal. So let's wait and see how that pans out, but it's obviously nice to see that this deal is going to happen, because we need to really sell players. We need to sell players. However much I like Donny van de Beek, I know he can thrive under Erik ten Hag, but I think everything at United has gone ahead to not go by his side. So let's wait and see the developments, but United might call in for like 30 or 20 million pounds from the player. That is it. So after that, Alfredo Pedula has also gone ahead and confirmed to us about Fred, as United have gone ahead to reject 2 bids coming from Galatasaray and other teams. They've now made up their mind that Man United have lowered the asking price for Fred to £13 million or £12.9 million after initially wanting £17.2 million. And the only team that was willing to offer us that money was Lazio, but Lazio isn't really interested into this. And I ask myself, where is Fulham into this? Because Fulham wanted to give us £15 million. Saudi Arabia side wanted to get us money, and we reject. I think we haven't really talked to them, but I think it would have been better for us to discuss a deal with a Saudi Arabian side, because they'll get us some good money. I think for Fred, they can get us close to 25 to 30 million pounds, and that will be something great. But to me, I think the most important bit of it all is us getting this deal over the line. That is it. We should get this deal over the line, and we should take these players out, from the club of Manchester United, and get Erik ten Hag what he wants. Sometimes it's always good to accept that we made a mistake. Got Fred for £53 million. We are getting 13 out of him, and he's a player who's been here for 5 years. If you don't accept the losses, you don't move on. If you don't learn from your past mistakes, then you want to move on. Learning from our past mistakes means selling these players. Fred, Harry Maguire, Brandon Williams, Scott McTominay, Donny van de Beek, and very many others. They're going to hate to fail under the era of Erik ten Hag and getting players that will take us to the levels where we all want to be as the club of Manchester United. So guys, your thoughts onto United's takeover breaking off are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Donny van de Beek, Sociedad coming in through to sign him up, and Fred's asking price being reduced to 13 million pounds. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. My Muslim viewers and subscribers, Barakallahu fikum. See you tomorrow. Last video of the day, and I'm going to start it off tomorrow with the medical of Rasmus.